This is Brad. This is my new show called The Cliffs. I'm sure that there's plenty of movies out there that a friend's been bugging you to see, or it's the girl at the coffee shop that you like's favorites. But the problem is that you just never have the time or the energy to sit down and watch the entire thing. Now that's where I come in. I'm here each week to give you the Cliff Notes, or my interpretation on the Cliff Notes, of different films. Now, I think it goes without saying that if you actually have an interest in watching any of these films, you should probably turn this off to avoid it being spoiled for you. Alright, so first up, we have 500 Days of Summer, which tells us in the first 60 seconds of the film that it's not a love story. But it definitely seems like it, so the watcher's already thinking, well, what the hell? So anyway, we got this guy named Tom. He's looking for love, and enter Summer, the adorable new secretary or receptionist or whatever the fuck the difference between those two things are. They work in a greeting card company. Now, they never really say the name of the company, but the viewer pretty much knows that it probably rhymes with Schmaltark. Two meet, and they both find out that they like the Smiths and la freaking da. They go out karaoke-ing. Is that the version of karaoke? Anyway, so while they're karaoke-ing, Summer tells Tom that she doesn't believe in love, which makes him get drunk and sing that outside there's a boxcar waiting, when in fact outside is the place where Summer slams Tom into the friend zone. But the next day, she kisses him at the copy machine, which makes him think, well, what the fuck? Anyways, big surprise, they get together because that's how movies work. So they act all annoyingly cute inside an IKEA, laying on all the beds. But then she tells Tom that she's not really looking for anything serious. Of course, she follows this statement up by bringing Tom back to his place and banging him. Not very consistent this summer, but Tom doesn't really care because he's in love and she makes his dreams come true. And that's not a reference. There's literally a post-coital dance number set to Hall & Oates' You Make My Dreams Come True. It's actually a pretty good scene. Now, throughout the film, they keep switching back and forth in time from, when they're together and after they're breaking up. Even the movie really can't make up its mind. They're happy. They're miserable. They're laughing. Tom writes a greeting card saying, "Roses are red, violets are blue, fuck you, whore." Which really wouldn't be a bad card to have out there. The Heartbreak Collection by Schmaltark. Tell your ex how you really feel. Now, after they've actually broken up in the storyline, Tom's on a train going to this wedding, and guess who happens to be going to the same wedding? Summer! Yay! You think it's going to be miserable, but Tom actually plays it pretty cool and starts to think that he might actually have another shot with her. She even invites him to a party at her house later in the week, which turns out to be the most depressing scene in the movie, because there's this side-by-side comparison of what Tom thinks is going to happen and what actually happens. What actually happens is a lot of loneliness, a lot of awkward hugs, and it ends up with Tom seeing that Summer has a goddamn engagement ring on. So Tom leaves, and after that, he basically becomes a shut-in addicted to whiskey and Twinkies. But after a little time and some pep talks from a young hit girl, Tom inevitably starts to get better. He quits his Schmaltark job and focuses on a career in architecture because if it's a romantic comedy, all the guys have to want to be architectures. It's a goddamn requirement. He's always drawing on walls with chalk, and there's uplifting music happening, and he walks into this office for a big important interview, and what's this? An attractive woman sitting on the couch next to him. So anyways, they end up making a little flirty small talk, and Tom decides to take yet another leap of faith into love and ask her out for coffee. And in a moment of pure destiny, or irony, this attractive woman's name turns out to be Autumn. And then credits. That's 500 Days of Summer, and that's the first episode of The Cliffs. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, click that subscribe button below and check out all the other great stuff that we have on Bab Studios. Now, if you have a movie that you would like me to run through, send an email to heybabstudios@gmail.com with the subject line, The Cliffs Movie Request. I'm Brad, and thanks for watching, guys.
Yo, Bab Studios.